Hey, how you guys doing? I'm Lex. So the Waffen-Panzer Waffen-Panzer 4. Now I haven't gotten my mark on this, but I'm going to go ahead and say that I just had an amazing game that I thought shows this tank's full potential. And it also brings fear to the battlefield. I'm just going to say if you find somebody that's actually good in this tank and knows everything about it, it's a devastating vehicle considering that it doesn't have any armor. Um, which I will say that they are going to nerf this tank in the future on the PC, but on console they have not touched it. So I'll show you guys the differences on this. So this is a full review. So we're going to go ahead and jump on here to the tank inspector. Now, if you guys are looking for me to do one on the 150, I'm actually choosing not to get it this time around. I really want to get into the Waffen-Trager E100 before it gets turned into the Gorilla or something like that. And at least use it. I will say that tank has almost a minute reload, so depending on what gun they're using. But anyway, the rounds on this are amazing. 276 with 560 damage. The APCRs are 352, and then 65 for the high explosives with a possible 700. Now that is with the tier 10 version of the 128. So if you're using the other one, or if you're using the 150, this probably won't be the one for you. I myself like to use a tank where it can take on and do more than just basically bomb people, which is great when you hit somebody and you do 950, but you're going to do a lot of bouncing, you're going to do a lot of missing, and you'll see in this game it shows the 128, how much more superior it is in the overall setting. So stock 3000 is its damage per minute. Reload time in game is 11.1 seconds. Rate of fire is 5.3 per minute, which is pretty good. Ammo count 40. And of course, its velocity, just take note of that. It's 1200. The other one was about 9 something. So having a 1200 velocity means you're not going to have to lead targets as much, which just makes it that much better. Now here's where they nerfed this tank, as far as I know, on the PC, and that is they nerfed the field of view because it's not 370 on the console. I'm actually looking at it right now on the console, and it says it's 410 meters. So we can kind of ignore that and keep going. Now, once you have a 100% trained crew in it, it's .31 accuracy. So if you don't have a 100% trained crew, you're looking at .33 or even .34. But its aim time, 2 seconds, really good. And everything about it while firing on the move, while traversing, is really in the green. Where it really comes into its own is its elevation is 45. But I'm going to go ahead and show you guys there's something strange about this, and that is forward, this tank actually only has 2 degrees, but to the left, to the right, and all the way in the back it has 5, which is why you'll see this tank being used backwards a lot. There's also another reason. It's called the shoot and scoot. Now this does 38 kilometers, so it's not exactly fast, but it backs up at only 12. So it's better to be facing somebody where you can do 12 and then go backwards and get out of there, because it has the aim time to do that. I've actually backed over a hill, locked onto a guy, waited for my reticle to shrink, fired, and then got out of there before he could shoot me. So that's basically the technique that you're going to see me using in this game. 1600 hit points. You guys can see that it actually has decent armor. I mean, for the Borsig line, because I mean everything in the Borsig is usually 30 millimeters. So this actually has 80 on the hull. I mean that's tier 5 armor, but it does protect you from high explosives. So the one place it doesn't detect you, if you look here under armor, there's no place for the hull. It doesn't even say like the turret. The turret it doesn't have any turret health or anything like that. Well, it does have health there, but if you look, it just says the hull. So 80 in the front, 30 on the sides, and 20 in the rear. The tracks are 15, gun counts is 20, and it has a 20% chance of engine fire, which I'm going to go ahead and say I think it's actually 12 on Xbox, but don't hold me to that. That's all the stats that we could see. I'm going to go ahead and show you guys what I'm running on this, which is basically binoculars, camouflage net. Oops, we'll just do this. Binoculars, camouflage net, and gun rammer. Now, in the future, if they nerf the field of view, obviously you're going to want to change out gun rammer with coated optics, because if you're driving around and you detect somebody, you're going to be way too close and they're going to just obliterate you, which is probably the tank's Achilles heel. So what I'm running on this tank right now, and what I'd recommend you guys getting would be, well, let's just say with camouflage, it gives you a 68%. With Brothers in Arms, it gives you a huge boost in reload. So that's actually the first perks that I run on this. Now, the second one is Mentor and Sixth Sense, and I got Recon on this, just to give me even more field of view. And I'm working on getting situational awareness, which I would recommend getting. You guys will see here that you're going to see up to 500 meters with binoculars. If you guys don't know it, binoculars give you about a 25% increase in your view range. So it doesn't give you the max 500 like you would think. But I also have Smooth Ride, Snapshot, and that's pretty much it. You could go further, and add on any other perks. But this one makes it, like, in the game you're going to see here, that's what I'm running. Which you guys can see that it drops our accuracy down to 0.30 even. Our aim time goes down by, like, I was at 4 seconds, 4.5 seconds, and then of course everything just gets much better. Look, we can fire one more round a minute. Our reload time is below 10 seconds. Considering we're doing 590 damage per shot, 9 seconds, we're going to do 6 shots per minute. This thing absolutely is a beast in this way. So that's pretty much everything, other than you guys are going to see me doing the shoot and scoot. So like I said before, while looking over the front here, you only have I think it was, what it say, 2 degrees of down angle, but on the left here and then the back, it's all 5. I actually wish it was a little bit more than that, because, I mean, if you're going to expose the back of this thing, they should at least give you some good DPM. Anyway, let's go ahead and go right into the gameplay. Okay, so here we are on Provoca, and it's at night. So it's kind of hard for me to see, so if I actually say a tank's something that it's not, it's probably because I can't see very well. The renderer that I use is a very cheap program. It's just Windows Movie Maker, and I mean, when you're actually rendering just basic footage like this, it's really resource friendly. It doesn't give you the best quality, but it's free. I know a lot of people that will use Sony Vegas, and it just breaks your computer eventually. It just puts too much on it. So you guys can see this is a clan battle, and I'm probably, for the next couple of weeks, well, probably until we actually either win the championship or we, win the division, will determine whether I'm going to, show voices, because we have been talking a lot of strategy during games. We've been checking camouflage ratings and see where places are good and where they're not, and where stuff's bad. So if you guys look over there, there's an 8-bit gamer. I'm kind of used to the other gun on this, the lower velocity. I think it's just under 1,000. So this has 200 feet more per second. So I'm just getting used to it, and you can see I'm overleading the targets. I'm either overleading or underleading. Now I'm still gonna keep trying. Now, shooting guys on the ridge here is not exactly, easy to do. But if you guys look here, there's just too many of these guys. There's too many of them, and they're all trying to do the ridge, which I'm just going to say, if you guys look where I'm sitting, I'm sitting pretty far back, and I am in a shoot and scoot position, but, yeah, I actually want to get better shots on these guys, so I'm kind of, I want to stay and make sure there's like 3 or 4 bushes in front of me to make sure I'm not going to get detected by any of these guys. If I was in the J area, I would actually get spotted and probably get wrecked. Now you're going to see here, I've got 1 pin and I got 1 critical, which is cool. So talking about this tank and how I'm using it, which is one, you cannot be aggressive with this. So if you're on Himmelsdorf, I mean, in all reality, all you're going to be able to do is use your hit points and nothing else. I really like the fact that this 8-bit gamer, if you guys look, he's in a tier 10 bat chat, and he's been hitting people, he's been firing at people, and nobody has been able to shoot him. I haven't been able to shoot him. I keep missing him. That's going to change though. So they're tier 9s. Everybody's going up on the hill. And I want to say, if this is a 7v7, this is pretty much exactly how they play it. Nobody goes right, because you can get into positions that, well, that counter it. I actually thought that that shot that I just took should have actually tracked him. You know, but it's okay. You know, he's not going to get away with it. There you go. I finally nail him. And I realized, like I said, I'm starting to get the, that I don't have to lead so much. And so I was over leading, which was making me miss. So there's my first kill. T-54. And we got a 110, and he just disappeared. So you guys know I can see like almost 500 meters, but there's a cap on that, which is I think it's 459 or 449, something like that. I'll have to look it up. I'm not sure if that's actually included in on this, because I still think we see in weird angles, like if you're looking from K to 0, I believe you can see further, but I mean, they may have actually changed that. I don't know. So you can see here that this bat chat is just risking his luck. And I will say, seeing that he's an 8-bit gamer, now in the championship league, the 8-bit game tag, those guys are actually something like they maintain a 64% win to loss ratio, which is crazy if you guys think about that. 64%. So I'm gonna go ahead and see if you guys look at their team. You know, we look like we're doing good. But I'm going to go ahead and say that, unfortunately, the guys that we're losing are tier 10s or tier 9s. So we lost one guy in the clan. And so here we go. He makes his mistake, and I land one shot on him. He actually ran into a vehicle. He disappears. I'm reloading anyway. But, yeah. So now that I've gotten this kind of tuned in, and I know that I don't need to lead the target so much, I'm going to start landing some really good shots. Now, if you guys look here, it's starting to even out. We're 7-4, and you can see that we're losing guys. We got a lot of guys that are ready to jump the ridge. Now, when you have a bat chat on the ridge, the thing has a 7-round autoloader, and there you go. There's my second shot on him. Now, it's pretty cool because I'm going to go ahead and say that this guy has a really high field of view, I'm sure of it, but cannot see me because there's 3 bushes in front of me, which means, you know, the more bushes you have in front of you, the better. It is harder for me to shoot into bushes because I miss a lot. Seriously, I don't know why. I think it's because I can't see where the round's going, so I don't correct for it on my next shot. But anyway, as you guys can see, it's starting to even out. We're 7-5. I'm going to go ahead and nail this guy one more time. I end up missing, and I'm like, oh well. I'll get him on the next one. So I'm tracking him, and I'm afraid there's a rock over there. And so the Bat Chilean, one of its worst tanks to run into is the T-49. Because if he does get hit, it's going to do about 800 because he just doesn't have any armor. You know, it's just basically a gun with a car platform, kind of. You know? So, as you can see, the clan's getting whittled down slowly. We've lost a couple guys, and I don't know who exactly got them. I think the Bat Chat got one of them. And so I'm trying to just get this Bat Chat because, well, I'm just going to say he's basically their last guy that can spot. Now, if you guys look at it, we have some tier 10s left, but they have pretty much all of their tier 10s. And they're hiding back there on the left. Now, I'm not going to be going up that ridge. Jay's actually trying to say, hey, there's a guy over to the left. And there you go. So Jay ends up getting that guy, I think. And of course, here's that Bat Chat again. And I'm going to go ahead and lead him a little bit. And he ends up turning around, so I'm going to try and lead him again. And I hit him, finally. If you guys notice, I had to aim really high because it kept falling low. So yeah, he's just a one hit. And I told Jay that. And of course, somebody in the clan said, Jay, go get that guy. He's worth it. And I was like, you know, if that's what you want to do. So he popped up over the ridge to shoot him, and he ended up getting killed, and then somebody else took the kill, which was kind of douchey, that we sacrificed our guy for that. But I don't think he was that worth it. He was making mistakes. He was making mistakes. You know, riding that ridge, you're basically flipping a coin, you know, if you ask me. But he was doing it pretty good, because I missed all my shots. I'll tell you, if I played this tank a lot more, I would be doing a lot more damage and stuff. So, we know there's a guy on E. If I go into the J area and I know this, I'm going to get detected. And so, I start looking on the map and I start noticing that our guys to the right here are leaving. So we have 3 TDs and a heavy left, and they have 2 heavies, a medium, and the Waffen-Tractor E100. Now, if you look, our Waffen-Tractor is basically in the E7 area. And we also have our IS7. He's full health right now. So I'm actually getting kind of like I think they're going to charge here. So I better get out of here is what I'm thinking. Now, I was hoping I could get a detection fire and then run, but then I thought, hey, this thing only does like 30, on flat ground, so I should probably get out of here. So that's the plan. The plan is to displace. I'm the only guy over here. I've been a strong presence on that side of the map. I don't know if you guys noticed it, but they pretty much avoided going into the F area altogether, and it was because they could not detect me. I was just sitting right across, being patient, which that's what this tank requires. It requires, tactics. You don't have that good of armor. Now, even if I had a shot on this guy, I wouldn't actually fire at him because it would probably get me detected. To be honest, I actually think that I'm going to get on this tank at some point. I'm going to get, better camouflage while in a bush. That I think it's called. It's not concealment. I think it's just called camo, because you have camouflage and then you have green thumb. Green thumb's the one I'm thinking of, and probably muzzle blast. But I'm gonna go ahead and say that when you have a big gun, it just doesn't matter. I've tried to use muzzle brake or blast, but it doesn't seem to work. So I want to sit on this ridge. I really do. I want to sit on the ridge, and I want to keep them because I'm pretty sure the people are going to go to my left. You know what I mean? Where I was. They're eventually going to go, hey, I want to get whoever's over there. It's why I moved. So that's what I'm actually waiting for. I just don't think they're going to take the bait. I'm thinking they're going to go up the 6 line and come into that town. And now I start seeing some fire from the right side over here. And there's a couple guys over there because I've seen 2 tracers. You guys will see it here. And of course, McLovin's trying to tell the IS-7 to go up on the ridge. Yeah, the IS-7 in this game was basically, I mean, if your hull gets exposed to any TDs at tier 10, you're dead. Seriously, and you can see that he went from having full health to being taken down to that little bit. And so I get a detection here, and I'm like, where is he at? And it's of course AMX-50B. Now, could you guys imagine? I would have detected him, fired 1 shot, and he would have used his whole mag on me. So I hit his ammo rack. So once he's done firing, he's done. Now I'm pretty sure he fixed it. I'm gonna go ahead and land 1 more shot, hurting his turret. You can see that's my 8th pin and a critical hit, so I'll take that. Adds to my mark. Now that thing is a very fast tank, and I'm going to go ahead and say that it's a better city tank if you ask me. And you can side scrape with it occasionally, but boom! Good night, sweet prince. So I got detected by firing, and because he just was in a good position, so I decided to go ahead and run away and move. And I'm basically just gonna, make him think maybe I'm going up the hill, and so now I'm just gonna go back right where I was and try and get the guy in the center. So you guys can still see I'm doing the shoot and scoot. That's basically just giving the back of my tank. That way I can basically fire. This takes a lot of practice, I'm gonna go ahead and say, because the controls are reverse. When I hit towards me, it's gonna go forward, and when I hit back, it's gonna go, or when I hit forward, it's gonna go back. So it's absolutely the reverse. And so it's the same with the left and right. It's very hard to get used to, but I will say driving around in the reverse will get you used to it pretty quick. Like I said, don't be surprised if you don't get killed. But this is the most effective way to use it, and that is use its range. This is kind of, I'm going to say, it's pretty campy. It's really campy. But I'm going to go ahead and say that it's one of the best ways to do it. Now you might ask why I'm not doing the shoot and scoot. Is because I'm getting ready to go over there. Now I'm reloading my HE, and I'm going to go after the E100. Now our E100 is sitting on the other side, and basically I'm going to go ahead and say that somebody in the room sent a message to him saying, hey, even if he shoots you, you got enough hit points to live, so you should take him out. And of course, right when that happens, the other heavy comes in, so he doesn't do it. But once that heavy dies, I'm more worried about this. I don't have any armor, so if I do go for this guy and I fire and kill him, I also don't know how much the E100 has, but you can see that he actually took the advice of Jay, or I think it was Jay, or it might have been McLovin. So I'm gonna go ahead and do the shoot and scoop, because if his autoloader's loaded and I detect him, I'm gonna want to get out of here really quick. So I'm gonna go ahead and creep forward, and I'm not getting any detections. I'm gonna go ahead and let my binoculars come up and see if I spot him. No spot. I'm gonna go ahead and turn back around, and I'm gonna go ahead and go more into the E area. So yeah, so McLovin's like, he's right there, and he's pretty focused, I'm gonna say, on the other E100. I don't know why, because I mean, I was in this game, but so using this in reverse is slower, but using camouflage and trying to use my binoculars to outspot this is a tier 10 that has one of the worst camouflage ratings in the game. But I'm going to go ahead and say that most of the time I get out detected by it, and it never made any sense to me, because I think it still has it must have an okay camouflage rating, because I'm pretty damn close to the E area, and unless there's like 17 bushes in front of us, I really don't see him to get detected. So the IS-7 decides he's going to do a rush on this guy, and I know that I'm the only one that's going to be able to see him just because of my crew, and so I'm basically letting them know affirmative. I'm going to go ahead and get this guy, and I got a high explosive loaded, and game over, GG. So pretty good game, huh? I mean, I think it shows everything that I was talking about in the beginning of this video. I think it's a good review video as well, because it shows, one, how sneaky this tank is, two, the best way to use it. I didn't even take a hit in that game. I don't know if you guys noticed that, because I stood out of their field of view. I let the team do the job they were supposed to, and I sat back sniping like in support. Which I am going to go ahead and say that any tank that doesn't have the frontal armor of like a E100, you're going to need to sit back. So when the Grilly comes out, or even when I get the Waffen-Tractor E100, I'm definitely going to be still sitting back. You can be aggressive with the Waffen-Tractor, but you'll be using your hit points, not anything else. Anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed this review. Comment, like, and subscribe, and have a good one. Later.